Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pokemon Masters video. My name is D-Free here today. I wanted to talk about the news and something that happened over the course of the last couple of days. I'm a little bit late getting to it because I've been super busy, but I still nonetheless wanted to discuss it with you guys and go over it with you guys and kind of talk about it, give my opinions on the state of the game, right? So we did have this letter, right, from the Pokemon Masters team pretty much, talking about things like issues with the game, and not really kind of saying much of what they will do to fix it, but a lot of it is just kind of like, okay, we're aware of this and that and this and that. We want to fix this and make it a better, enjoyable experience. So bear with me. We're going to read through most of this. I think we're going to kind of skim because it's pretty long. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Also, hit that subscribe if you're new for more content. It definitely has been a little bit since I've done Pokemon Masters because they haven't really done much, to be honest, over the course of the last, well, forever, to be honest, but especially the last couple of weeks. It's just not been much. So, all right. I'm Yu Sasaki, the producer of Pokemon Masters. Thanks for playing. I'd like to sincerely thank you for downloading and playing Pokemon Masters. We'd also like to thank you for the feedback you provided across the game's social media channels and the fan communities. We've taken your feedback to heart. At this time, we'd like to look back at the game's activity since launch and update you all about this future decisions, or about its future direction, excuse me. I'll also be joined by a new producer, Tetsuya Iguchi. So the current producer is being replaced. So there's that. He says he's being joined, but I mean, they're bringing another one on. Long story short, he might still have interaction with it, right? But they're bringing somebody else on. He will provide the Pokemon Masters team with the benefits of his years of experience managing and operating mobile games. Together, we will work towards improving the game. Okay, yeah, so the other one's going to stay on. Experience for everyone. The following is from Mr. Iguchi and myself discussing both the current concerns and the future direction of the game. So they're bringing another director on. This is actually pretty big, and this is for one, this isn't something that a lot of these games actually tell us about, but they literally felt the need to express, hey, this is happening, right? Now, one thing I want to mention is Pokemon Masters sales have dipped a good bit. And a lot of that isn't really attributed to any fault of the game. I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest. A lot of it's attributed to the lack of, which I guess is technically a fault, but I don't mean like bugs or things like that they can improve on, but just the lack of content, and then also the lack of hype characters. Like, they'd still do good numbers if they drop more characters like Blue, right? They'd still do decent numbers. It's not gonna be as good as Blue because Blue had that new game, new character, new awesome character feel to him. But still, they've been dropping characters a lot of people really don't care about, and it's kind of weird. Like Lyra and Meganium, for example, that's a cool pair. They're good, but a lot of people probably didn't care about that. Some people did, but a lot of people didn't. So little things like that, there could be better pairs that they'd put out to have better sales. And that's one thing I want to mention, right? It didn't matter throughout this whole experience if I myself and maybe some other people that view me did any pulls and summons and bought gems or whatever, because the majority of players weren't doing it. But also on top of that, I think a lot of people weren't bothering to even spend on the game because none of it mattered. Like, you don't need the units from the overall banners to complete most of the content in the game. And even then, you can use free alternatives for a lot of the hard courses. Now, you'd probably need your friends to be type effective summonable units. But like, even then, it's just like kind of like, what's the point, right? It's just a lot of people just have that attitude about it, right? And that's fair. Let's get into it. We like to address what we believe to be the 3 biggest areas of concern since launch. First, as you know, there have been bugs and other issues that have impaired your enjoyment of the game. Yeah, but we don't mind those because we like getting compensation. We like getting compensation. Everybody loves it. Some of the feedbacks we received was regarding which bugs we prioritize fixing and how quickly we were able to fix them. We fully understand and appreciate these concerns, as it's not our intention to provide a poor user experience. Rather, our focus was on fixing any bugs that affected game mechanics or progression first. Moving forward, we will carefully prioritize critical issues and then potential solutions. We will also redouble our efforts to address issues in a timely fashion. In the past, we also acknowledged issues such as the dire hit description and the sync move power issue. For those and other matters, we provided gems as compensations. Player satisfaction remains our top priority, and we understand how these kind of issues may compromise. Yeah, so compensation, please. Everybody loves it. Second, we acknowledge the 2 most common concerns from the community. There is not enough content for players to enjoy. The overall battle difficulty and designs are not satisfactory. So let me kind of recant something I said previously. I firmly believe, because I've seen it, right, that you don't need to go ahead and pull the units on the banners to complete the stages. You're just far better off if you do, right? To complete the EX hard courses, co-op stages, you know what I'm talking about. You're far better off if you do. If not, you're going to need some really competent allies alongside you, and you'd be fine, right? As long as you're not matched with bad players, pretty much, you should be fine. But even then, I wanted to recant that because those stages are still really hard, and they require, a lot of them anyway, require a near perfect setup of allies and pretty much gameplay, right? So there's still that. So a lot of people are just kind of like, man, this is too hard. Like, it doesn't. And a lot of people actually don't even want to play it because it's so hard, and also because the odds of you getting paired with a bad party member is pretty high, right? And also, there's just not enough content in the game. Now, this is something I talked about initially, but I wasn't so hard on the game because I felt like in a couple of months it would hit its stride, right? I've played dozens of gacha games, and honestly, most of them kind of come out with this lack of content thing for the first month or two, right? But there are others that hit the ground running and just drop so much content that it kind of overshadows, and those are the ones that truly had the model to be successful, right? Whether they were or not, they did the right thing. This game just kind of, what this game did was they released the same content over and over and over. Even the Girl in Black and White event is literally the blue event, but it's just, and there's nothing we can do about that, but it's the same concept, right? It's a story event. They'll always have those types of story events, so it's not a knock. But they even went ahead and did the sync pair training stuff over and over and over, even with the intention being allowing players to grind up their characters and build their box. The rewards aren't good, so it's like, what's the point, right? I can do this at any time. And the game just became grinding, and that's it. It's just grinding. Nothing else to do that's fun, just grinding. Our original plan was to have players progressing through the main story while at the same time tackling co-op battles and EX challenges throughout September and October. Yeah, this is literally what I just said. That's literally what I just said. And they had the idea that we, in a couple of months, will really hit our stride. We're going to allow players to do this, and then in a couple of months, we'll be fine. The problem is the rewards and all that other stuff in between made it to where people stopped caring, and they didn't expect that. They didn't expect that to happen, right? That's why this is a thing. But they literally had the idea that, yeah, for a couple of months, we'll just kind of pace ourselves and make it. And that's why you get those training events. You get those training events so people can build their accounts up and everybody can play. And they want everybody to push towards co-op. And co-op is their end game, which is another thing that could be discussed, that we need more content for PvE because people simply just don't like playing co-op, regardless of some people, regardless of how hard it is or how bad the player allies are, whatever. Some people just don't care for co-op, and that's fair, especially because it's slow, right? And that's just every game. Some people just love playing on their own, but there's no content to play on your own. The hardest content to play on your own is like what? Super courses? And you can auto those if you have type advantage, you're good. So that being said, we understand players have quickly progressed through all the available content and feel dissatisfied with the current offerings. Yeah. The thing is, okay, let me say this too. This game is designed, it's a gacha game. It's designed to have years, hear me, years, at least 2 to 3 years minimum. And I can really see this one pushing towards 5 if they handle it properly. Now, that's a long time down the road, but they're planning for that, right? So that's why you have stuff like, oh, these sync pairs don't have evolutions. Why? Because they're going to recant that content, redo the content, excuse me, later on down the road, a couple months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, right? That's what they're going to do. That's why, right? So this game was made with that in mind, but people are still going to no-life it. You know, it has no stamina. That's the thing. People are going to no-life the heck out of the game. And they did. And everybody beat the game story-wise and was pretty much dissatisfied. All right, so as fans ourselves, we also feel a great sense of urgency to provide more quality content for players to enjoy. We're working hard to address this as soon as possible. Our community has shared a great deal of feedback regarding battle design, user interface, and experience. Oh, yeah, please add a 2x speed button, or at least just make the matches faster on co-op, please. And the battle-centric nature of the game. We understand that the EX challenge design has proven unpopular among many fans. Yeah, people don't like it. Generally, I'll grind them, but it's just like, even then, it's just, you're only grinding for gear. And gear is just min-maxing your team. You could, it's all just grinding. That's it. It's all just grinding. That's it. Nothing else. You don't really get to have fun. You're just grinding. Some people may have fun grinding, though. I don't want to be too harsh. We recognize the importance of adjusting these elements. We will address our plans to improve in these areas in greater details in the next producer letter. So this is letter 1. There will be another letter where they address this more. I assume it's going to be in a couple of months after they have addressed some of this stuff to really kind of say, hey, this is where we were in October, and this is what we've done since then, and yada yada. Thanks for your support. Ideally, we would have been able to provide a message like this much sooner, but it was crucial for us to carefully consider your feedback and the best long-term solutions to the complex challenges involved with addressing these concerns. We also prioritize severe bugs and future content updates. Cool. Now that our team has grown, we feel we are better equipped to handle the unique concerns of our global operations and will ensure the future communications with our players is more consistent. We'd also like to assure our community that the feedback we've received, whether it has through our official community, our support channels, or through other player communities like Reddit. Yeah, all these games have Reddit spies, for the record. Like, that's something that we talk about a lot. All these games have PR people and community people looking at all these different outlets. So even if you don't think your voice is getting heard, they're hearing you. They do hear you. Now, it's whether or not they decide to actually make a change. They might not, but they see it, right? Most of the time, anyway. Has been carefully considered and discussed with the development team. In the future, we hope to improve both the speed and transparency of our messages to players. Plans to address the current issues. We'd like to thank you again for your feedback. You provided both positive and negative comments, help decide future content and operations, and they improve the game for everyone. The current areas of focus are as follows. Number 1 is lack of content. Number 2 is lack of appealing rewards, which is stuff like the login bonuses. Like, why does a login bonus get? Is it like 200 gems in a week? It's something really stupid. I don't mind the summons being 3,000, but you need to give more than basically a few hundred gems a week. Like, that doesn't work. It really doesn't work. There are so many games out there that are super free to play friendly, and that just doesn't work, right? Even the events don't even give that much. It might be like, what, 600, I think, maximum, which is not bad. 600 is good, right? You're not gonna get a multi with every freaking event. Like, I mean, you could. Some events, some games do something similar, but like 600 is not bad. But you need to have more events like that if you're gonna do that. And the login rewards and mission rewards are so bad. They need to be better. So number 3 is difficulty/design, and 4 is poor usability. Regarding number 2, this is feedback that we can address relatively quickly. Yeah, that's really easy. Giving more free stuff is pretty easy. Better rewards is really easy. Please look forward to updates in the near future. For numbers 1, 3, and 4, these issues will take time to fully address, but we will be sure to keep players updated about our progress. So the thing about this game is all these games have content planned out. So I'm sure that they have content that is planned out. Obviously, we get data mines. We know there's stuff planned out. They have stuff planned out literally months in advance. So the thing is, they're going to have to backtrack some of that stuff and maybe even make changes. But that's why they said, hey, we can give you better rewards, but the other stuff, like changes to the actual core game itself and content, that'll take some time. So you've got to be patient, right? Our goal is to provide users with an enjoyable experience that's unique to the world of Pokemon Masters. In the near future, we'll provide a more detailed roadmap, but for now, we can share the following short-term plans: more story events and revised reward system. Yeah, so they're going to drop more story events. I just mentioned the story events are pretty good reward-wise. They're like 600 gems. It's not bad. It's not. What's that? 6, 12, 18. It's a fifth of a multi. That's not. It could be better. I could actually have done that way easier. That could be a lot better. But if they give more rewards, it's fine. It really doesn't matter. And even it doesn't have to always be gems. They can start doing stuff like giving the equipment as well, like more of that type of stuff, not just the blends, but actual equipment. So they have the final message here. I'm not really going to go through that. We're disappointed we did not meet the expectations of our community, and for this, we sincerely apologize. So let me just say this now, and we're going to wrap up on this. Masters was making like, what, 40K I think a day. I can double check while I'm talking here, but that was just from the global market, right? So that's actually not bad money, right? That's actually really, really not bad money to be able to produce that much. Actually, I pulled it up here. So Masters as of the end of last month was making from the U.S. region only U.S. Understand this is a global game. And this is the global version, the U.S. outside of Japan, pretty much. They were making $36K a day, right? But when Blue came out, the game was making $345. They peaked at that. And then they were around 200 for about a week. Then mid 100s when the Olivia Spotlight Scout came out early September, about a month ago, actually, to the day. And then since Lyra, it was about 36,000 a day. Now, I'm just going to be honest. That's not a bad gacha game. The money is not great, but it's not bad. The game was doing pretty fire, and it's actually normalized to more or less like a decently successful gacha game, right? It can definitely do better. And for comparison's sake, another gacha that's kind of floating around that's pretty successful, and it's in its anniversary currently, is Dragalia Lost. This game is now, at this point, making about 145,000 a week from the U.S. area. 68, 100, 136. So you can understand weekly versus daily that Masters actually is not doing that bad. It's not doing great. It could definitely do better. But long story short, they basically built it and just tried to mooch off of the fact that it's a Pokemon game and have that IP carry, which worked to a point, but it's not going to keep working from here. The numbers are just going to go down more and more and more. This is why they were like, hey, we went from hundreds of thousands to dozens of thousands, right? So they are like, yeah, we need to address this. So the game will definitely see changes. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be instantaneous. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think, how you feel about this, and I'm excited. I'm excited. So I'm excited for the future. We're definitely still going to have content, but I think Monday, when we got our next update, is when we'll finally see a little bit of what they're going to do. The reward system, that can be changed literally instantaneously as soon as the next event comes out. Instant, because it's just a reward. They just have to revise it. That's it. Change it. Oh, you get 1,000 gems. Oh, we'll just change that to 1,500, right? Stuff like that. It's easy. So we'll see. Anyways, thank you all. I'll catch all of you in the next one.